The thing is, sometimes we see ourselves as this and not the oak tree. We just see the seed. And so I want you to experience for just a few moments what it's like, the process by which the acorn goes to the oak tree. Would you like to be inspired in that way? Would you like to see how, if I may, common people, is it okay to say that? I'm a common person. I'm just an ordinary common person who has found the tools and the mindset and the strategy and the community and the support that has allowed me to create uncommon results. And these, however extraordinary, I want you to feel that this is very accessible, okay? The people I want to introduce you to today are students of the Client Attraction Business School. I want to teach you today how to become a confident entrepreneur. A confident entrepreneur is someone who says yes to the opportunities in front of them and does whatever it takes to get new results with authenticity, integrity, and love. And so there are hundreds of people who could be sitting up here. And every year, it pains me to only be able to choose 8. And yet, we chose people from different businesses and in different industries and just different personalities for you to see, and I really want you to hear this, that their results are possible no matter who you are, what industry, what country, what gender, however you look, whoever you are. I want you to begin that new belief that this is possible for you. Are you ready? Would you stand to your feet, please? These people have worked hard. Can we give them that? Give them a big hand. Thank you. Have a seat. How's it feel being up here? Use your mic. I want to come closer to you, Michelle.
It's intense.
It's intense? What's great about it? Them, right? You know that you are going to shift people's lives by telling your story here today. No pressure. Tracy, tell us about you.
Hi, my name is Tracy Harrison, and I am the owner and founder of Wildly Successful Health Coaches.
And Tracy, when did we meet? About a year and a half ago? When did we start working together?
I joined CABS about a year and a half ago.
Okay, great.
But I've been stalking you for about 8 years.
Good, you finally made it around. So Tracy, tell us about, I believe that when we are ready to make a decision towards our bigger future, we've actually been ready for quite some time, right? And there's a point at which the switch needs to be flipped. Where were you? What was the situation around your business at that time? And what made you decide to make a shift, and this being your chosen solution? Where were you, and what made you say, I cannot go on like this anymore?
I was blessed to already have a very successful health coaching practice that I had built, I guess, 8 or 9 years ago now, and had been very happy with that, but realized that I had a calling that I just couldn't shake. You know, when there's this thing that niggles you that you think will just go away. And I had a calling to serve in a bigger way because my practice was extremely successful, but I was seeing health coaches all around me not moving forward with 6-figure practices because of lacking tools, especially clinical knowledge. And I'm a scientist by background, and I saw an opportunity to be a bridge between the medical world and the health coaching world, which I believe very strongly is going to solve the healthcare crisis.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And so no matter how much I try to just help people on the side and coach coaches on the side, and we talked about their health problems, but they wanted to talk about their clients also. And I knew I needed to commit to build this other business. And so I started it, and I started to struggle because the approaches that had built my own health coaching practice were not the same skills, tools, mindset that I needed to build this new business supporting hundreds of other coaches to
So it
find
was time,
success.
if I'm hearing you, it was time to go and really leverage and really take your message out there in a much bigger way. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. And I was afraid in many ways, and you helped me realize this, I was afraid to take on this new business because I thought, well, I already have this other business over here that's very successful. I don't want to lose myself in developing the second business. So I needed tools. But I remember you're saying to me, what has gotten you to this point is absolutely not what is going to get you to the next point. And she was so right. And I remember talking and thinking, yeah. But you're right.
Yeah.
And so I knew I needed new tools. And one small thing I'd like to say is I have a lot of education. I have 3 degrees from MIT. I have an MBA from the Sloan School. I've done all sorts of additional business training. And I still was coming up sort of empty-handed on what was going to help me to really step into this new career, this new business that I was just the calling of my heart.
Yeah.
And I had not read your blogs for several months, and then all of a sudden there was one, as there always is, which just went ding. And
Something really spoke to you.
Called, and I got Stacy Martino on the phone. So, it was all over with. But I really just felt, wow, this is what I need. This is really what I need.
What is it that, so assuming that you are the acorn and you were planted into this fertile soil, what is it that you have been able to accomplish? What were you able to accomplish in your first year in cabs, for example? There are people here right now that they know what their before is, but they don't necessarily know what their after looks like. Would you share what your after, even though you're a work in progress, what happened to you in your first year with this kind of support?
Well, in my first year in cabs, in my new business, I doubled my income. Yeah. I went from having 10 or 12 participants to having 40 or 50 participants, and now I have hundreds of participants.
Woo!
And I did this all while growing my other business, by the way, because I leveraged that in the process. And so there was no sacrifice, and I didn't end up working harder, which to me personally, to be honest, was the biggest gift.
Yes.
Just the release of that, of stepping into my calling without feeling like it was going to wreck me.
Yeah, can you give her a hand for that? Yeah. Because remember what we did today when we talked about the limiting beliefs, and the one being, I will lose my freedom and it will be overwhelming to become more successful. That is a really big thing that gets in the way of people saying yes to their bigger future. So I want you to get that you actually have the ability, with the right tools, you have the ability to grow while actually not being overwhelmed, and for some people, working less. Yeah. Tracy, what were the tools what is it that you received that allowed you to be able to grow a business so quickly while maintaining another one? And I presume making more money, Yes. Yes, she's nodding happily.
Well, being able to make money, to spend money, to grow the business, and the ultimate definition of leverage, at least financially. But I think the thing that has meant the most to me out of this whole program is the community. for two reasons. One is there is such an amazing love, but unwavering insistence that we all collectively rise to where we're going. And I've never experienced anything like that in my life, and that's not being taught in any formal business education anywhere. And it's magical because when you're stumbling, when you're struggling, there's not one or two, there's 50 people who want to pull you up to say, hey, it's all right, I'm helping you, I'm here for you, call me. That's amazing, and I just feel so blessed for that. The other thing is working within a group within CABS, all of whom are rising rapidly. And when you're at a point where you're maybe surrounded by people who are looking at you rising, saying, who are you? Who do you think you are? And in CABS, I did this the other day, and it's so true. It's more like a whole bunch of other people looking down and saying, hey, are you coming or what? You know? And it's lovely to be in a group where people at all different levels, and there's no judgment, there's no elitism. Everybody wants the best for everyone and is pulling everybody up together. And that's been so inspiring, uplifting. I've learned so much from others even. And the curriculum is great also.
Yes, thank you. It's the internal joke.
And in truth, to be fair, I had a lot to learn about online marketing of group programs and schools and all of that. And I really have taken a lot of value for that. But the magic has really been the community and the group rising
and the meetings
together.
And really connecting with people.
Oh, yeah, the face-to-face meetings are incredible.
Yeah. What would you say to somebody in the room who feels like it's now or never, it's their time? Is this something that you might recommend for them, and why?
Yes, I recommend it.
And you've been recommending it to a lot of your colleagues and friends. Thank you very much for that.
Absolutely. My clients, my students, my friends. Because, well, what I learned, because I really feel so blessed that I knew I had this calling, and it could so easily be here today, 3 years later, just a calling. Just one of those niggling things that, yeah, wow, I really feel like I should do that. And instead, it's a success that's impacted hundreds of people's lives already, and I'm just getting started. And I'm so grateful for that. And I think so many of you are probably in a similar situation where you're waiting for the right time for everything to be in line, and you're not busy, and there's no conflicts, and your kids are gone. And Lord, that is not going to happen. And I just don't want anybody with all of these gifts to be sitting here 5 years from now, much less next year, saying, maybe this is the year. Because there's thousands and thousands of people who need what we all have to offer.
Yeah.
And the feeling of leaving your gift locked inside as a calling is painful.
Yes.
It's painful.
Thank you.
And it just feels so good to have busted out.
Thank you. Give her a hand, please.
Thanks.
Chris.
Hi, Fabienne.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Is that mic on? No. This one right here. Raise your...
Hello.
All right. There you go.
How are you?
Yes, we're great. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
You're up here.
This is my favorite event.
Is
so this is kind of curriculum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Who are you?
I am Cris Sgrott-Wheedleton with OrganizingManiacs.com outside of Washington, D.C.
And this is your second year in CABS.
This is my second year in CABS and my second mindset. And from the moment I met you, I was just like, where do I go next? Yeah. I stopped at one of your tour stops. I had no idea who you were. I was just very intrigued by the whole energy that you had. And I thought, hey, she sounds like fun. And I could learn more marketing. Why not? So,
take us back to, what is it, about a little more than a year now?
Yeah, it's like it's about a year and a half now.
Yeah. So what was your business like back then?
I had a great business. I was doing multiple six figures. I had several people on my team. By any and all standards, I felt like I was running a good business. Mm-hmm. But I was like, what the hell? There's got to be a better way to do this. And funny enough, at the time I had told my husband, I'm going back to graduate school and I'm going to get a master's degree in business because I feel like that's what I need to learn to take my business to the next level. Mm-hmm. And
what would that have cost, by the way?
I think it would have cost between $80,000 and $100,000. Okay, and he said to me, if you do that, you better find another husband. So I was like, well, okay. Other options, please? So you came from the universe at the right time.
To save your marriage?
To save my marriage and my business.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
But you wanted to learn some business things to do it better.
I think my problem is I'm a total education junkie, kind of like Tracy. I don't have multiple degrees from MIT, but I knew enough that she's my friend. And I knew enough that I knew that I had basically used all of my organic learning tools and that I needed something that was more comprehensive, something that was more structured. And I know that we don't necessarily appreciate the curriculum like we should, but that is the thing that keeps us together.
So let me tell you the joke, is that they all tell you that the curriculum is so kick butt, but the problem is the community is so far ahead of anything else that it's like all the great other stuff is pales in comparison. Yeah. That's what you always say. That's why it's the inner joke. So if you want to be in the inner circle, you say, oh, and I like the curriculum too, Fabienne. The stuff I bust my butt over.
I know. We never want to offend. She's a Leo. So yeah, the curriculum, I needed structured. So when I came into cabs, I literally, and I was telling this story at one of the other stops, that I was like the person with the shelf of shame, right? I'm sure you all have that. You go to all of these trainings, all of these seminars, and you come home and you have a book that you learn and you took all these great notes. And then the first step is you put it next to your desk. And then you look at it for like weeks and weeks, and then you think like, oh, I'm going to implement that one thing. But then you get really busy doing other things, and then you don't. And then like a couple of months later, you start kicking the binder now because you're angry. And you didn't know you were angry, but you're just kicking it.
Because you didn't implement.
Because you didn't implement anything, and you felt like, oh, I totally wasted my money. And then 5 months from now, you're like, just put that on the shelf, and then another thing comes up, and you register for it, and the whole cycle starts all over again, right? And I was tired of doing that. So when I came into cabs, I was like, this is not going to happen to me. And the curriculum provides that sort of structure, and the meetings provide that sort of structure. And like, Joe is my buddy now, and Tracy was my buddy before. And we talk every day, and we talk about what I'm working on and how I'm going to get my business to the next level.
And at the meetings, you get what you're going to do over the next 90 days.
Yes.
And
strategy.
And what have you been able to accomplish in your business, Cris, in this year and a half that you've been with us?
It's
because of your implementation.
Yeah, I mean, so I always like to preface this by saying, don't kid yourself. It's a lot of hard work, right?
Yes,
I wear pretty
work.
shoes and I look like I'm having a good time, but I work very hard a lot. But in my first year in cabs, I doubled my business. So remember, it was a multiple six-figure business. And as of July, I had already done as much business as I had done last year. So I'm pretty close on track to doubling my business again.
Second year.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah.
Tell me about the relationships and what they mean to you.
I wish you guys could have been backstage just a minute ago. I'm going to try not to cry because, I feel like I've met so many amazing people that I could literally just pick up the phone at any time and just say, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, help me out. But we were holding hands in backstage and just reminding ourselves of like the community that we are, right? And where do you find that? I mean, I have owned a business for almost 8 years, and I had never seen that before. And honestly, I know we like the curriculum, but that is the reason why we truly succeed.
Yeah.
I wake up every day, and like I said before, I used to talk to Tracy, and now I talk to Joe, and like I look forward to that call, and sometimes he kicks my butt, and sometimes I kick his butt, and we just but I don't take it personal. I'm like, he's totally there for my best interest.
Yep.
And I'm like moving the process along, and I'm like, okay, what am I going to work on today that takes my business to the next level?
Yeah. Would you recommend it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If you're thinking about it, and if you're thinking like, oh, I'll wait until next year, I'll ask you one question: how much money are you making today, and how much money could you be making next year?
Pays for itself.
Yes.
Yes. Give her a hand, please. Victoria Whitfield.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, introduction. Hi. I'm Sensei Victoria Whitfield from victoriawhitfield.com.
And this is your second year.
Yes, just starting my second.
Just started. Are you excited? Yeah. What was your business before you made the decision to enter cabs?
Okay, so it's all your fault.
Yes.
And and it's all your fault and Patrick's fault.
Yes.
Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Patrick.
Who's my soul brother. And so my business is I'm a holistic stress management expert and spiritual teacher.
Yes.
And from the gift of Patrick giving me space to begin my healing work, I began working out of his space for him part-time. So I didn't have a business at first. And we found out about you in 2012 when the world ended. Right. My world changed because of you. And so in 2013, we were able to go to MYM, get that inspiration.
So did you have a business when you first entered? You had an idea, you had some clarity. Did you have a couple clients or not yet?
Well, at Mindset is when I decided to go into this, and do this seriously.
This was a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had, maybe working for Pat at the time, making maybe around $500 or $700 a month, but it's not living wage in Jersey. So I was working in another position, but beginning in cabs, I went full in. And so...
What was it about cabs that made you decide to go full in?
Well, I had used your client attraction system before, and it inspired me. It helped me get more organized. But being in this environment, having the accountability is tremendous, tremendous. It was able to generate way more out of me, keep me driven and focused when I really needed to produce more results and really help more people.
What happened this summer? I saw a video this summer when I was in France. And at first, I'm looking on my Facebook, and there's this video of you. And is it okay to say?
Yes,
there are tears running down your face, but you're smiling. I'm like, I've got to click on this, because I need to hear what she's saying. What did you experience less than 1 year after starting your business? Do you mind sharing?
I don't mind sharing. I have something, though. This is my Go card.
From
1 year ago. So she's saying this part: I have manifested a brand new Honda Accord EXL. And I posted that video there. There's also on here, I have $10,000 months as my new normal.
Yeah.
And that happened. I have an online store that thrives, and that happened. I have one VA and one personal assistant, and that happened. I have one speaking gig per month, and that happened. And then I also wrote I've organized and systematized my client files and sales funnel, and they're automated and rocking. That happened. And I am on stage at Mindset 2015. Booyah!
Victoria Whitfield, from $700 a month to $10,000 a month. Yeah, we should all do the goal cards.
They work. They work.
The accountability has been tremendous for you.
Yes.
The community, have you felt loved and accepted for who you are in this community?
Loved and safe. The tears incoming. So, loved and safe to be myself, because I'm a very joyful, happy, and loving person. And for some reason out there, that's weird. What's wrong with them?
What's wrong with them?
But in here, I get to open up and celebrate and be more of myself and receive love and give love. And that, I honor you for being the guardian of that kind of a space. Thank you for that, because it's changed my life. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. So we heard from a couple people already who said they came in with existing businesses well into the six figures.
Right.
You are here to be a beacon of light for those who aren't quite there yet.
Right.
What would you like to say to the folks here who really want to believe that they can make $10,000 a month while doing what they love, with accountability, with love, being accepted, feeling part of something bigger than who they are on their own? What would you like to say to them about what's possible for them?
What I want you to know is that you were built for this. You were built on purpose for a purpose. But it's not about you, okay? It's about the people that you were built to serve. God is coming through you to heal the world, to change people's lives, whether it's fixing, a leaky sink, or coaching someone through a transformation, or doing their accounting. God made you for that purpose that makes you passionate. And you've got to make it about them. You've got to allow their energy to drive you.
Yeah.
Because that's what worked for me.
Could you do it on your own without the support that you got here?
Absolutely not.
Go Plainfield!
Right? So
And that's what it's about.
you recommend getting some support, whatever the support looks like.
Yes, you can achieve beyond. When I wrote this was, I have to say, it was kind of a joke. I was like, well, I get to ask for whatever I want. But with the support, the accountability, the community, and this 10,000 hours that you inherit, not just from you, but from everyone in the room, you get to achieve or watch happen, you get to witness far above what you
Yes.
could have ever
Yes.
expected.
Thank you for being such an inspiration, Victoria.
Thank you.
Michelle, you're up next.
Hello.
Hi. Who are you?
I'm Michelle Tenzyk. I'm the president of East 10th Group. We're a boutique people strategy and human resources consulting firm where we help growth enterprises build, support, and inspire organizations to do great things.
Yeah. You're. It's an important distinction that you work with corporate clients.
Yes.
Okay, great. So when you and I first met, what did you want to do with your business?
I had given myself 1 year to change the level of business that I was achieving, and if I didn't, I was going to shut it down.
Has anyone ever been in that place where sometimes it just feels like too much work on your own? Yeah? Can we give her a hand for just saying that? You're extremely accomplished, would you say?
Thank you.
Yes. You're extremely smart.
Thank you.
You are no nonsense.
That would be accurate.
What is it that you saw about cabs and me that made you say, you know, this might actually be the thing that I need to get to that next level that's even though I work hard and I'm really good, and my clients love me because I'll say this for you, because I'm really good at what I do. I have a whole career lifespan. I bring it for them. What was it that made you say, you know what, this type of support is what I will invest in because I know I'm going to get results here?
So, few things. I had first met you back in 2009. I was part of Rochelle Togafiga's
Yes.
sales program.
Yes.
And she was individually coaching me, and I was at her sales conference, and you were the guest speaker.
Yes.
And I sat way in the back of the room.
Yes.
And I sat there skeptical and rolled my eyes.
Good. I want you to
And,
represent them. Yes.
And
Some of them.
didn't, buy into a lot of what any kind of marketing expert might be selling. But there was something, you were pregnant with Oliver.
Up to my eyeballs.
I didn't know that was Oliver yet,
Yes.
but now I do. But there was something very just compelling about Fabienne, and of course Rochelle spoke so highly of you. And then, of course, I got bombarded by your emails, and then I unsubscribed.
Yes.
And then when I came out of the corporate position I was in 2013, I looked you up because you had always sort of stayed on my mind. There was something very compelling about you, and you had just launched the business school.
Yes.
And I watched your video, and I felt like you were speaking to me
Yeah.
in my apartment.
Yeah.
And I looked at my husband and I said, you know what, it's sort of now or never. And there was two things that I wanted to do. One, I wanted to fill the cracks in the foundation. Because I'm smart, I tend to want to skip steps
Yep.
and jump ahead.
Yep.
And I really wanted to do the basics. And two, because I come from the corporate world, I'm serious by nature and I'm sort of buttoned up and all of that. But I wanted the warmth and the love that I knew I would get through this program.
Yeah.
Because that, to me, was also needed to be brought into the work that I would do.
Yeah.
So those were the two key things that I was looking for.
Yeah. There are some people who work with corporate and who think, oh, a person like Fabienne or coaching business, that's not applicable for my work in corporate. What would you say about that?
You know, at first, the first few months, I certainly struggled with some of that.
Yeah.
I certainly had my doubts. There were some things that I kept saying, not for me, not for my business, not for me, and I kept pushing it aside. I had a really amazing accountability buddy who is part of my team today, actually.
Yeah.
And we just really made our way through a lot of the program, and I started to realize that a lot of the models for B2C were very applicable to B2B if I just got creative about it.
Yeah.
So that was an awakening for me if I paid attention.
Yeah. And what has happened to your business?
Well, yeah. So I'm reaching a number this year that I had limited beliefs about, that I would have said to you 2-3 years ago, not for me, that's for you, but not for me. And I've now blown that number. So we just reached...
You just reached.
We just went over the $500,000 point. And the year that I joined Cabs, in that 2013, I was coming out of a corporate position, and I had been running the business on the side. I think we had I was telling Joe earlier, we had about 4,000 that we had made in the business that year. And so we just, in 2 years, just went over the $500,000.
Yeah.
Point.
2 years.
Yeah.
Is that inspiring? Is it just you, or just these 7 other people, or does this seem to happen all throughout cabs?
You know, it happens. It's, you know, for me, what's been inspiring is watching other people achieve great things tells me it's possible for me.
Again and again.
And getting the encouragement and people having my back. And I remember setting my plan in 2014 in January, and you know, I set a goal of $14,000 a month, which to me was such a huge stretch goal. And I remember looking at that number going, okay, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Like, that's just not gonna happen. You know, and at the end of that year, I ended up, when I, you know, averaged, because my income comes in a little bit differently, but it ended up being about $30,000 a month.
From 14, her goal, to 30,000 a month.
And it blew me away, and it really was because I watched other people do it ahead of me.
Yeah.
And I am a pretty high achiever,
Yeah.
so I'm competitive.
Great.
And I love having people who are doing better than me around me, and watching them do great things with love in their business, and then so openly share with me how they do it.
Yes. Because yes. Because when we get to the meetings, we share best practices.
Yes.
Hey, guys, this is what I'm doing that allowed me to bring another $10,000 in my business, or I'm using this app, or this is what I do to focus on just 3 things a day, or this and this and that. And that's
right.
been really valuable
right.
for you.
And the other thing that I will say is, you know, what you and Derek share about your own business with us.
Yeah, we share everything.
You know, that to me is, especially coming out of the corporate world, where, you know, I've worked with some very, you know, businesses that have a lot of integrity and others not so much, that your transparency about your own business makes it accessible and reachable for me.
Yeah.
And it makes me realize, like, okay, so that's how it can be done.
Yeah.
So I'm, you know, people know this about me. I'm totally obsessed with you. So everybody knows that.
Tell
right?
them
It's
your
right,
nickname for me.
Oh, Missy Moo. But I'm obsessed. And, you know, you talked about it yesterday, you know, who do we want to learn from? And, you know, I literally watch, like, every move you make. Like, what do you do? How do you do it? You know, because to me, that's, you know, it's like I want to grow up and be you. So, you know, I got to watch it and learn from it and so forth. And how do I bring that into the corporate setting?
Yeah.
And then, you know, secondarily for me, as you mentioned so kindly yesterday, you know, last year, I founded my movement, The Truth Behind Our Titles. And thank you. And that, you know, that giving birth to that, you know, I did have support from outside of Client Attraction, but truthfully, you know, that happened at the Lightworker Day, and that really got more fully birthed in Client Attraction through Lightworkers, through the day with you. And took form and allowed me to do that part of my work.
Your other piece of life's
my
work.
other purpose.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, seriously?
Yeah.
Like, seriously?
Changing
Like,
lives
yeah.
across.
Yeah.
Yeah, corporate.
That to me is just amazing. And the biggest differences are now, you know, someone was asking me yesterday, is I leverage my business. So I have, you know, a team. I have coaches. I have consultants. You know, I have an office manager. I have a finance manager. I've got people working with and for me, because so this way I can do what I'm supposed to be doing with my time and energies. And so I'm spending money to actually make more money.
Yeah.
And I've had to learn to do that, to get comfortable with that, as I've watched people around me do that.
Yeah.
And show me that that's what you do. That's how you grow a business.
Yeah. I think it's also important to state that you started, and I'll let you know about this in a few minutes, but you started in growth and then you went up to leverage.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
you're
I
now
did.
in year 3?
I'm going to be in Masters in December.
Wow. Congratulations, Michelle.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Kudos to you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
April,
Yes.
tell us about you.
I am April Ervin at aprilirvin.com. I am a spiritual life coach and life transformation expert. And so I am the, I guess, newbie on the stage because I just joined CABS in May of this year. And it has had an unbelievable transformative experience on my business and my personal life.
Tell us more. What's happened
So-
since you joined us in May?
Wow. So I met Fabienne in 2012. And I told you when I met you that I knew I was supposed to work with you.
Yes.
At the start of 2012, I was in the midst of a divine storm where your whole life gets thrown up into the air at once and everything changes in a matter of 3 months. So my kryptonite has always been fear. And so I signed up and then I canceled because of fear. And so I went through my journey those last couple of years, and 3 days before I moved back to Chicago, you were again in Chicago in 2014.
Yes.
And I had the opportunity to come, and I received divine guidance that I should apply to be on the hot seat. And of course, I was selected for the hot seat.
Yes, of course you were.
And I walked up to the stage saying, I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. And you said to me, what did you say? I said, I knew this was going to happen. You said, everybody says that.
Everybody who says that, who actually gets up there.
Yeah, who gets up there. And at the time, I knew that I had a great purpose that I was supposed to serve. And I had been serving that purpose for the majority of my life. So I've always been a life coach. The spiritual piece came a little later. But I did it for free. And so Fabienne had a very candid conversation. It wasn't the loving Fabienne, it was the other one.
It was the there's loving Fabienne
Yes.
and not lenient
Yes,
Fabienne.
not lenient.
This was
I
not
mean, she
lenient.
still loved me, but we had some real conversation that day because I had 0 clients. And it was interesting when I had to submit the document about my business. I was like, oh, okay, clients, that would be 0. Oh, income, oh, that would be 0. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, do I have a business? Mind you, I've been to business school. I went to another business school, so, I've run another business before. But after that conversation with you, you gave me the courage to, first of all, step forth and know that I do have a great purpose that I am here to serve, and I'm worthy to being paid for what I do.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was monumental for me because I didn't realize how many self-defeating beliefs I had in my subconscious mind, Anna, that I needed to release and didn't believe that I was worthy. And also because I believed, well, I'm here to be of service. I'm in ministry. I'm here to heal and transform people's lives, but I'm not meant to be broke and do that. And so, getting those two pieces together, I had to shift some things in my mind to know I'm worthy of receiving abundance.
What's happened with your
Oh,
business?
wow. So it still took me a while, even after seeing you again last October, but in May, I joined. And since then, everything has changed for me. I kind of felt like I was playing a little bit of catch up, so I did a little bit of what we're told not to do. I kind of went through everything at once. I'm like, I got the website up, I got the business cards, I got everything, but what I got was an unbelievable amount of clarity and an unbelievable amount of courage to step out with great faith and to stop allowing fear to keep me from living my life purpose and serving the people that I am here to serve. And so the curriculum has been amazing for me because it's given me such an amazing structure, whereas I was hesitant to charge anyone even $150 for my time. Mind you, I used to spend 6 hours with women and transform their lives for free. So I was a little nervous about that. Now I have programs, I have structures, and I'm so excited to share. First of all, we've talked a lot about the vortex. The vortex is real. I got 2 new clients on the plane on the way down here. And today, I got those emails. I wanted to scream, but I didn't want to scare everybody on the plane. But today, I did have to scream because at 3:16 p.m., I got another client today agreeing to pay me my highest fee of $3,000 for my program. And what that showed me is that once I stepped out of fear and stepped into faith and really embraced this opportunity, and I haven't been blessed to meet that many people here, but my accountability buddy, my coach, and the Facebook community have just kept me encouraged, and it's been helpful for me to see the unbelievable success of everyone in cabs. And at our last half-day retreat, our half-day solution in Chicago, I said to myself, I'm going to leverage. I said that to myself. Now, it might be a few minutes, but that's okay. But to go from 0 to be at this place and then visioning for myself to go into leverage, that is monumental for me. So what I say to someone, and I shared this at the half-day solution, for people, because I had been in their place just a year before, and I allowed fear to hold me away from achieving my goals and my purpose for yet another year. So if you are in that position and you have any fear about investing in yourself, I am here to encourage you to do it now.
Yes.
Do it today.
Thank you.
Because as Victoria shared, we're here to be of service. Someone needs what you have to offer. Someone needs what I have to offer. And I had to let those fears go. And I know that I can have both.
Yes.
I can be of service and live an unbelievable, abundant, monumental life. And CABS has done that for me in a matter of 4 months. Amen.
Congratulations. Karen, would you like to go next? Do we have a microphone for you? April, do you want to pass that one down? There you go. Hi, Karen. Introduce yourself.
My name's Karen Cochrane-Hall. I'm originally from Northern Ireland, but I've lived the last 30 years in Tenerife, Spain. My business is clientmarketingsolutions.com. I have had an existing business, which is an accountancy, tax consultancy, general legalities for British expats that live in the Canary Islands. And I've been in cabs now. I signed up in Mindset last year, so I've just completed the first year.
And here you are.
1 week.
Yeah. And here you are.
And here I am. Where do I start? Where do I start? So I've been in cabs the year. It has totally transformed my life, the life of my family, my husband, who's in the audience. Thank you, Pablo. Exactly, where do I start? How can I say about the transformation? I have the courage to know what I want, to actually love my life, something that I didn't a year ago. I came here, I was guided by the Lord to sign up for Mindset. I found, as you do, these coincidences that aren't coincidences. I found Fabienne on internet and I signed up for Mindset, bearing in mind that I'd never been out of Europe. This was a huge leap of faith for both myself and my husband to come here. We attended, and I had the sensation, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that feel this way, that I'd arrived home. I'd arrived to the place where I was meant to be. And that was the very first day. I'm actually surprised myself that I'm not crying right now. It's a surprise. And I didn't stop crying the whole time. It was an energy thing. I couldn't stop. And I knew on the second day, on the Tuesday, I didn't care what it cost. I knew that I had to be part of this. The energy, the love, the positivity, I needed it at my core. So I signed up. And it's not been easy. I have an existing business which is very rational, obviously working with numbers and legalities all the time, and yet my intuitive, my spiritual side, CABS has given me the reconnection with that. I had a fast track day in June,
at my house,
and I asked Fabienne, how do I work in my intuition? And it's happening. I'm coaching people. I've inadvertently coached my business consultancy clients over the years, again for free. With CABS, I've now reconnected again to that spiritual side. I feel fulfilled. And I would say the following. What I could give 2 pieces of advice, I think, on humbly. I didn't have the money to join cabs last year, exactly a year. I took an enormous leap of faith, and I signed up. I made the first payment, and I signed up. And I've invested in myself, which is something that each and every one of us, we're worth this and more. And if you just make that step forward and say to the Lord or to the universe, whatever resonates with you, I'm worth this and much more, you will find so much joy, so much abundance in this place, so much love. That's the first piece of advice. The second piece of advice is that, the curriculum is brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is. It's wonderful. The most important thing for me was I procrastinated. Yes, it does happen. I didn't travel over to the States again until June. I made the decision. I traveled on my own, which was
Unfathomable.
and it was something that I wouldn't have done before. And in the 3 months, and I had the fast track day with you, which was very special.
Yes, it was.
And in the 3 months that followed, I can't believe the transformation in me, my life, my business. I've achieved more in 1 year, in 30 years in business. I was worried about not being able to speak.
No, you're doing great. Last word of advice.
Sorry? The second.
Last word of advice.
The second word of advice would be, when you join up, not if, when you join cabs, come to the live meetings. Because you get planification, you get what you have to work on. And aside from anything else, I visualize myself like one of those little electric cars that you switch in to get the energy charged. Well, I would say to you that for me, the growth meetings, I'm in growth, the growth meetings every 3 months is like a recharge of positive energy and love. It's a connection, a real connection with the people that, as you say, 2 expressions in cabs, a rising tide lifts all boats. It's very true. It's the love and the fact that people are wanting to share with you their success and wanting to help push you upwards and drag you upwards. And also, everything you have is in this room.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 vitally important things. So the word advice, 2, sign up. One, sign up, and 2, come to the live meetings. It's amazing.
Thank you, Karen.
Really, really amazing.
Thank you. Congratulations. Joe Biba.
Hello, my name is Joe Biba from Cuba City, Wisconsin, and joebibaconstruction.com.
So construction.
Yeah, I do residential construction, remodeling. I've always said we always did everything that nobody else wanted to do, and I've kept very busy doing that, and have had a good living. Quite frankly, when I joined, I was doing very well, but it was just besides my construction, I also have income property, and I was just maxed out. I could not. There was no more hours in the day. I couldn't do any more.
And the thing that we talk about, and with Jody, is that the day before you came to your first leverage track meeting, you were on a roof for 12 hours.
I was, because I was the guy that bid the jobs, did the jobs, cleaned up after the jobs, went and collected the paychecks from the jobs, wrote the bids in the beginning, and actually following that up, 5 months after I joined, I retired my tool belt and got the hell off the roof.
Woo! You learned how to scale your business, clone yourself, put team in place, people to replace you.
Absolutely.
Would you have done that in 5 months without being here with us?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It was life-changing, transformational, having the backing that I had from the people that had my back, which are the people in here, and just helped to coach me to where I needed to be.
Yeah. Tell me about the meetings. Tell me about the people in cabs.
The meetings and the people are, as somebody else said, you have to go. Because without that, it's for the leverage every 90 days. We I fly out to Stamford, Connecticut, which I had never flown into New York. So it was a huge deal. Did it by myself. And without going to the meetings and seeing the people in person, it's extremely easy to fall down the rabbit hole and not know, geez, I was doing really good, and then it tapered off, and now I feel like crap again. I need that boost of my people to get me back up and going in the right direction again.
Joe, please address that. So cabs is 1 year at a time. Why on earth would you join for a second year? Didn't you get it the first time? That's what people have said in the past. Like, why do so many of these people come back year after year? What is it for you?
For me, it is definitely the people, and it's, I did struggle with rejoining.
Yes, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah. In fact, I had a talk with beautiful Gail in the back, and she had her Fabienne business hat on.
You can buy one in the back. Just kidding.
And she gave me all of the business reasons why I should re-up my renewal. And it just wasn't setting with me. And finally Gail says to me, she says, well, she took her hat off and she got real. And she says, if you don't renew, are you going to have the support to keep you going where you want to go? I says, why the hell didn't you say that in the first 2 minutes? It'd have been a done deal, Gail. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Worthwhile?
Pardon?
Worthwhile investment?
Absolutely worthwhile investment. I'm very guilty of not having the exact what it is that I've increased my business, but I'm going to say, thinking on the way here, it's like, before I thought it was like 20%. It's probably more, at least like 30% that I've increased
That's awesome.
my revenue.
In a construction business, that's huge.
And actually, even more important than that to me is it's allowed me to bring out a passion in me that I knew was in there somewhere, but I didn't know quite what it was. So through the meetings and people seeing things in me that I didn't see in myself, and a lot of loving pushes has, I actually also now have a second website, which is creatorsofhope.org. And we're building and renewing lives one home at a time in Jamaica.
Yes.
In fact, when I leave Sunday, I'm supposed to be going down there to set up the work because
Yeah.
in January I'm taking a group of 10.
But you're here on
Yeah.
your birthday, right before your mission trip. Thank you so very much for sharing your story and inspiring so many people here. We love you.
Thank you.
We
Love you too.
Hi, I'm Brianna Kavanaugh, and I know it's not Thursday. My website is infinitelypossible.net, and one of the things actually that I got out of CABS was this tagline, which is, I help entrepreneurs end the financial feast or famine cycle so that they could get financial clarity, so that they can get and stay profitable. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Brianna, you joined CABS
March.
March.
Yeah.
So that's like 5-6 months ago.
10,
like
20 minutes ago, something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, just like very recently.
What's happened? You're like kicking butt and taking names.
Yes.
What is it about the structure, the community, the curriculum, the coaching, all of that has allowed you to create such amazing results? And I hope you will share some of them.
Yes, okay, so results. A week before last, I made my first paid offer from the stage and had 50% conversion, 50% sign up for my course. And I'd never made a paid offer before from the stage, ever, because I was too scared to do it. I have more than doubled the size of my team. We've doubled our revenue. I just hired someone.
Doubled her revenue.
Doubled my revenue.
In what, 6 months?
Yeah, in 6 months. And I figure a fair part of that is Gail's fault, actually.
Fault, I love that.
Between Gail and Tammy Call, my AB. Who's
Accountability buddy.
Accountability, who stayed right with me this whole time. And when I've been like, I don't think I can, I'm not sure, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. She was like, you got this. Like every day, 5 days a week for months now. Because it's hard to get up every day and do this stuff. So, and literally, like, I don't think I could have done it without them. Like, I don't have enough information. Like, I didn't know how to hire people and who to hire and how it was gonna go down, and I needed to fill the holes in my marketing, because I don't know anything about marketing, or I didn't, right? And I had to figure out what's my tagline and what's my signature speech and who do I need to talk to and how is it gonna go down, right? And it's not my area of expertise, it's just not, right? So I needed to get a lot of support. Actually, the thing that I wanted to make sure that other people get is that I needed, and I think entrepreneurs in general need more support than they can even imagine. Like more coaching, more people to talk to, more support groups, accountability buddies, like whatever it takes. But like there have been times in the last 6 months where I have 4 coaches, y'all, 4. Like I just got super committed, and I just decided to do whatever it takes, and it's happening. But the other thing I wanted to say is in the moment, like I've been watching you for years, right? Like, and somebody had given me, I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna tell you anyway, they gave me the client attraction, what is it called, the little pamphlet thing? The book, the client attraction system.
Yeah, it's no longer available.
Right, yeah. You
Just
can't
in
get it,
CABS,
sorry.
only in CABS.
So, and there was this section that I read like over and over and over and over again, and I was like, eventually I need to work with this woman. And Nikki, who might be in this room, forced me, there she is, forced me like to go to the half-day solution, and I was like, not going, not signing up, not taking my checkbook, I'm not gonna do it. And she was like, if I were there, I'd drive you. I was like, fine, I'll go. But I still didn't take my checkbook, and like I wasn't gonna do this. And I was sitting there, and she said, she was talking about having faith. And I had this realization. I was like, I'm not signing up because I don't have any money. Like I have nothing. There's nothing in my income account. $0. Let's talk real numbers. $0. So I was sitting there, and I realized that I was having a crisis of faith. And having been a priestess for the last 13 years, I was like, that doesn't work for me. So I started praying. And I just asked the goddess, I was like, I need a sign. If you want me to do this, if this is really the right path, because we created an agreement long ago that if I'm in the right path, the money will show up. I was like, okay, now's the moment. I need you to show me with the dollars right now that I can do this. And so at the break, I checked my phone, and there was exactly enough money to give a deposit. And the message was like, now, there it is. And I wrote the check, right? Or did the form, whatever it was. And the afternoon transformed my business, just in the half day in the afternoon. But the truth is, it wasn't until I got to the growth meeting in June that I really got aligned. The piece that I was really missing was my alignment piece, right? And I was like, things were still feeling crunchy, but I showed up in the room with all these amazing people, and I feel like there's like a bunch of people I want to like point fingers at that I could not have done it without, who were like, your business is actually rocking, and you just need to do this, this, and this, and you'll be fine. But I'd been in all this anxiety, y'all, like just overwhelming, like I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I know that I can help people with money. Like I take people from $7,000 a month to $28,000 a month. Like I can do it, but what I couldn't figure out is how to get in front of people so that they would know that I could do it, right? Which is different things.
Yeah.
So just figuring that piece out.
Would you recommend cabs to
Yes.
somebody? Okay. Give her a hand.
I want to say one more thing, just one, which is that part of the reason I wanted to be on the success panel is that I do speaking now, and I speak to up to like 70 or 80 people, and I want this to be my new normal.
And so it is. And so it is.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Give them a big hand.